Hey everyone, welcome for a new channel. Today I'm going to do a bit of a video on what I do before I actually get the paint onto the actual panels. So at this stage, this has been solvent degreased and water-based degreased. So now I've mixed my paint up. So this is just a standard water-based tack rag and just a standard airflow gun. All I'm going to do now is blow the sheet off to get rid of any static that can possibly sort of still be on there, and then what we do is I'll show you. So with the gun, all I do is blow it down. This is got the airflow going down onto the filters, is under the car. So if we blow down, any dirt will naturally go underneath into the actual filters and not just go. If you start blowing it up in the air like that, it's just going to sit in the air and sit back down on your panel or on your sheet, which will then, when you come to base coat or paint, it's going to just fly back up and land on it properly. So yeah, I go over this lightly. You don't have to scrub, you don't have to put, you just let it glide like that. And all you do is just get in all your little corners. Take your time with this. Any little bit you think could be any bit of dirt. And all you got to do is just go all the way down, then move again onto the next panel again, just keeping it down. And also checking it. This is when you can install like your final check before you actually put any base coat on. So just make sure all your edges, your tape, like there's no like little bits of lifting tape where overspray can get under or any dirt can come out. And yeah, and I normally just go over a little one like that, just over the sheet. And then what I do is, these are clean gloves, so before I come in here I put these straight on, and then I literally do the same as if I had a tack rag. So all you do is you just go over your hand with the gun and again blowing down, and this will help you feel any actual dirt on the actual panel. So again, make sure you go over it and go down. I didn't know about this until a few years ago when someone actually told me about that last place I worked at. And to be fair, it actually does work. That little bit, because I used to just do the water-based degreaser, and I found there were still bits of dirt. You'd still have quite a few bits here and there. I find doing that glove technique does help a lot more. There's less shit, and you can actually feel it when you run your hand. You can actually feel there's a couple of bits still. Yeah, so that's how I do it before. So now I'll get the gun. I'll show you our base coat as well while we're doing it. Okay, so I've got my water-based colour in here. This is just a SATA 5500 1.2 cap. This is just a Standox standard blue scheme. So this one you just put it all on together, all wet, and then you'll put your drop coat on, all at the same pressure. I have done a few videos on Standox, sort of explaining my way of doing it, pressures and things like that. So we're going to go with the blend. We're still going to go. I'm going to stop here because there's a bit of a chips and things like that. So I'll probably stop my blend will probably be around here, and on the quarter panel I'll probably sort of stop around the petrol flat. Yeah. So we'll put it on wet. It's just that repair, so it's a nice easy one. And just flick on. And with this colour, I'm not too worried about putting colour blend on, because where it's a dark and it's quite an easy one. You don't have to. You can to be 100%, but yeah, I've done this colour a few times. I've had no problem. So we're just going to go straight into it at 2 bar, and that's it. Straight away, go straight from the bottom, and then you're going to flick. I don't know if you can see, but when I'm flicking, I'm actually releasing it a little bit. So if you just push in a little bit, it actually starts. It's just there that comes out. It's only when you go further that colour will come out. So as soon as you're flicking like that, if you just let go a little bit, then it will actually just be the air. Then it stops any more colour. If you want to hold it full colour and let it go like that, it could just go further. So sometimes I flick and just release it and then go back on again. I'll try and show you. Release, release. And when you get loads of practice, you do find that you don't actually have to stop the air. You can actually just stop the material coming out. So now I'm just going to drop coat it and just let, this is for mostly in metallics really. So with the drop coat, I am flicking that a little bit further and making sure I go over that wet edge from the coat before, because I do not want a line where my first colour is. Because that is the whole point of a drop coat, is to get it faded into the changing panel. Oh, it'll do it. So you have to make sure you get rid of that first line. So your drop coat has to go into that little wet edge and just flick it out that little bit. As you can see, we've sort of gone around here, so we've finished around there, so there's no colour on the ends. Same on this side, it's sort of here, so we won't have any problems with the bumper and the top of that tailgate maybe, which is fine, but we've got that quite small, so it's good. Looks nice and wet, all uniform, so we're going to let this dry for 10 minutes on bake, and hopefully she's banging. Okay, so now we've got that done. Now we've got a nice smooth finish. The lacquer will go on a lot smoother. If it's bobbly, the base coat's all standing up and rough, the lacquer's going to look bobbly and rough. So you can tack that edge with the water-based tack rag. Just go over it very lightly. I've just gone over it with a blower just to take any surface dust off, and then it's going to go straight into it. This is my lacquer gun. This is the same as the base coat, SATA 5500, and Standox lacquer. I think it's like K600 or K650. So this is an air dry one. So the first coat will be sort of quite close and quite quick, just to get that. I'm not going for a finish. I'll probably sort of try and stop in the middle. I'll probably start from this end, go this way, maybe stop here, and then go again. And then on the second coat, I'll come from there and just stop here. So I've got there and there, so it's different places that I've stopped. But watch how I do it and see how we go. The pressure I use is at 2 bar. My material on this gun is at 2 turns and a bit out, so 2 and a bit quarter maybe on the material. Fan is just fully open, maybe turn a little bit in, and pressure's at 2 bar. Yes, let's go. So try and notice that my speed is quite quick, and I'm a lot closer than what I'm going to be on my second coat. But this isn't a finished coat, I'm just literally getting like a wet coat on it just so it seals it. My second coat will be the sort of finished coat. Just keep it steady, all the same. So it all looks the same, and then you won't have, hopefully, a problem, he says. When I come to do it with like cars with like these sort of lines, I wouldn't go over many times. So I would maybe go, if you're coming up to that bit and then you're coming like here, I would go a bit quicker. With these, like, I notoriously used to get runs, and they're quite hard not to get runs sometimes. Just where it would naturally sit in that little groove and run, and it just run a little bit. So just be a bit wary on what the panel looks like. The sort of newest polos, VW polos, have got a lot of lines. So that I find just go quite quick on. But you don't have to put a heavy coat to get a smooth finish. So this isn't much material coming out of here, but yet we've got a nice smooth finish. You don't have to go so heavy just to get a big finish. With your like the actual droplets, the finer they come out, then they're smaller, so they'll clump together smoother. But if you've got more material coming out, they're going to be bigger clumps. So it'd be like bigger and less in the middle space. There'd be more like little gaps, if that makes sense. But when you've got that smaller droplets, they'll fill out and make it smoother. If it was bigger and clumper, you'd see more of a peel. With like Mazdas and things, they are more peely. So you can maybe like sort of change your material and sort of step back a bit and go a little bit quicker, so it sort of sits on a bit higher, but you still get that peel and getting that. It's a bit of a practice with certain textures, but generally they are pretty much most the same, where they are just sort of, you got like a natural orange peel. So that's pretty much it. So we're going to give this sort of 5 minutes. Actually, it's bloody hot today, so it'll probably be a couple of minutes. In England, we don't do well with heat, so I am sweating, and this won't take long as it's an air dry one as well. This will be really quick, so we'll probably it's going off pretty much already, so I'll give it maybe another minute, and then we'll do a second coat. Okay, so it's a bit hard to see, really. So that's your first coat. As you can see, it actually does look quite a nice finish for a first coat. It's gone on nice. Next coat, we'll go a little bit slower. Just raise you a little bit slower, and a little bit heavier. So instead of being here, I'll probably be about here. And instead of me going from that way this way, I'm going to go from that way this way and stop here, because I don't like to stop in the same position. You know, you might get like a bit of a build up where you stopped. So let's go. always best to have a little look while it's wet and you can do something, but I'll let the overspray go off and then I'll put the camera on and show you a bit closer. Right, okay guys, so this is it finished. Actually came out nice. Sorry, this bloody oven is so dark, it's like a bloody cave in here, so I'll try and line it up on the video. But yeah, so it's nice. And the colour's gone in nice, no blend you can see. Yeah, so hopefully you enjoyed that video and hopefully it helps. Thanks for watching the video and subscribing, whatever you've done, or just first time tuned into this channel. I appreciate you watching the video, and yeah, see you guys again soon.